You are listening to the Foamy Heads Podcast, where we discuss craft beer and anything else that accompanies a glass.
All right.
I got my glass. Boom.
Nice. I see what you got there.
I'm matching my glass with my beer tonight.
That's right. Everybody, we are getting back into some Big Trouble Brewing
Big
Company.
Trouble.
Yeah,
Yes.
Big Trouble Brewing Company.
Big Trouble Brewing Company. We went there today.
Yeah, we did. That
was so much fun.
Damn, I knew I missed that place from the last time we went, and then the year just got crazy for us in that third and fourth quarter. And just from what I've heard today, everybody, that we talked to at the brewery, they've all had a similar experience. It's just that end of the year craziness, holidays, family, changes in life, all that good, crazy stuff. And his beer keeps getting better.
Yeah, it was good.
We had the
lazy daisy hazy IPA.
Yes.
So we had the lazy crazy hazy the first time when we were talking with Josiah, and then when we went back, because I feel like we've been there twice. Yeah. Right. And when we went back, we sat at the bar, ordered a couple of beers. I feel like there was one or two new ones that we hadn't had at the time, and then today when we came back, there was lazy daisy hazy New England style IPA. So that was one we both started out with.
That's true.
It was tasty.
And we dove right into this beer thing because we have this crowler in front of us and we want to dig into it so bad. I forgot to mention our names, so welcome to the podcast, everybody. This is the Big Foamy Heads, and we talk about beer and anything else that accompanies a glass. And on the mics today, it's Mitch and Rich.
Yeah. We're already talking about beer, so we didn't think about the other part.
We get excited easily when it comes to beer, so
we're simple men. Like it doesn't take much to excite us.
That's right. And speaking of glassware, let's talk about yours real quick.
I've got one. So I actually have my Big Trouble Brewing Company pint glass.
Love it, man.
I love the neon pink, hot pink logo with like almost like a dark pink outline to it. Yeah, it's just very simple, kind of an 80s style text font on there. Other than that, it's just a basic pint glass. Like there's not much to it. There's no other wording, no other logo on the glass, just the BTBC logo, and that's it. And I'm okay with that because that's what I like.
It's super practical and it always gets the job done. I don't know the name of this style of glass, but I've got my 17% drip.
Oh, that's so killer. Is that King of the Hill?
Yeah, it is. It's
yes.
So this is with a zombie. Oh, I'm trying to think of the name of it. There's 3 or 4 collaborations on this glass where you'll see like a hop beer.
The hop beer. That's awesome.
And then a zombie. I forget if it's Beer Zombie. I think it's Beer Zombie is the name. And then BC. And then this was sold through 17% drip. So when I saw King of the Hill, I had to get it. They've got a shorter glass that's the same on the site right now. But this has everybody with a shirt representing part of the people who participated in this glass. And it's all 4 typical dudes that stand outside the fence. And instead of like a cooler full of beers, it goes craft beer style with a folding table.
Nice.
With a bunch of shareable bottles and glassware and cans and everything listed. So, right. They got it right.
I love 17% drip, man. Their glassware is super dope all the time, and the little things in it too.
Yes. So this is a Beer Zombie. I hope I'm getting that right. Apologies if I don't. Then it's I'm trying to read it. The Maryland Mob. Maryland Mob. BC, which I'll have to look up, and then the Dallas Beer Squad.
Nice.
and all through 17% drip, which was an honor to meet the guy behind 17% drip at Living Waters of all places.
How wild was that? We were picking up our I guess we were picking up 3, 4, 5, and 6, right?
Yes,
for the 2021 Mythos clubs, and caught the attention of a gentleman sitting next to us who was asking us about, hey, whenever I see bottles leave the shop with some wax on it, I got to ask, what is it? We just started talking, and he introduced himself and ran a swag company with glassware and 17% drip. Mitch, oh shit, I've bought something from you guys, from you all before. Yeah. An instant connection, friendship was made right there. It was awesome. Yes.
Yep. I didn't even realize it, but I had been dripped on. It's such awesome ways of putting it. Yeah. So today,
you need the full story and context, though. Otherwise,
I know. It sounds just
terrible.
Gets the point across real quick.
Yes.
One way or another. My sticker's getting a little wonky on mine. So
so am I.
This crowler we picked up it has. It's chilled. Mine is very cold right now, but it's been sitting out for about 15 minutes, and we've got the Macho Man Stout.
Yes, Big Trouble Brewing Company Macho Man Stout.
5.1% ABV.
I remember we had this one when we were talking with Josiah.
Yes.
When we had our interview. I remember really liking this one, and I remember matter of fact, we'll probably end up referencing the quite a few scenes from our interview with him, our discussion with Josiah, but I remember really liking this stout.
Definitely. And the description he's got on his website is black and chocolate malts, generously hopped with Citra and the Whirlpool. It's dark, like Tim Curry and Legend.
Yeah.
So if you guys haven't picked up on it already, Big Trouble Brewing Company is heavy on the hints back to the popular films and great films of the 80s. You'll love the space when you go in there. So much to look at, so much to stare at when it comes to the bar. There's a lot of memorabilia everywhere, and it's a fantastic space. Plenty of room to sit around, talk, hang out, and just chill. I'm gonna open this thing up, see what aroma.
Absolutely. Ooh. Came back at me a little bit, Mitch.
Oh no.
There we go.
Nice. I heard that one.
I got dripped on too. Not in a good way though.
If you want to see us get dripped on, we'll set up a Patreon or an OnlyFans.
OnlyFans. Oh gosh. Where each week you get to see unique talents and good content, trying to be different than everybody else.
We'll pour one out for you, and you'll see us get dripped on.
Oh yeah. This is nice looking, man.
It smells really good.
Yeah, so immediately what I noticed, and I don't remember if I got this from the tasters when we were talking with Josiah, but this foamy head's got some real tight bubbles to it.
Yeah, it does.
Like it looks like it's real frothy, so to speak, on the top. The bubbles look nice. They don't dissipate very quickly. Almost kind of looks like you're drinking a frappuccino. I don't know, what a cold brew coffee maybe.
Yeah, I could see that.
Just looks pleasing.
I'm trying to do my picture and untap it.
I remember this having a lot of flavor for 5.1%.
Yeah.
There was a lot of flavor for this 5.1% brew.
Ooh. Yeah, I really do like the nose on that. It is kind of like a cold coffee of a sort.
And I am glad that we are doing a 5.1% because this is 32 ounces of beer we're drinking tonight. This is a whole crowler.
Yeah. Now this is something I'd like to see Shane chug right here.
Okay, I got something to say about that. Shane is, every time we see a video of Shane chugging a beer, I'm like, how in the hell can he do that? Because he doesn't just chug the light beers.
No.
I mean, he does the heavy hitters too.
He does, and even the guttural destruction sours and such. I chased or not chased down one, but we both had a sour chug at Living Waters one night, and that one it fizzed for a while in the stomach going down that quick. It was not
extra tongue.
Yeah, we had there's something that's being sold now that's like electrolyte a fluid or whatever, that it's got a bunch of what's the word, sodium chloride in it and whatnot, I think is what it is, part of the ingredients, but it's a bio something, BioLite maybe. Yeah, but anyway, it's supposed to help your liver when you're damaging the shit out of it that night. So we chased it down with some BioLite powder drink mixture and water, and just like trying to recover from that. But
instead of just the obvious solution of just not drinking and destroying your liver, it's, well, we're drinking, so we might as well put something in it that's going to help it recover.
That's true.
That's the real solution.
Yeah. And when you come to Nashville and you start hitting all the craft beer breweries, you should ask about where Shane is currently. He'll treat you to a good time, but be prepared. He's a force to be reckoned with.
Don't think you need to ask. Just look on either Nashville or the Craft Beer Social Club, and he's always somewhere. You can figure out where he is.
Exactly. Yes. I am gonna dive into this beer.
Let's do it.
Good nose aroma, good head retention.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Roasty.
Very roasty. Dark.
I think I'm figuring out roasty. I think that's what this is, because I don't do coffee. I don't drink coffee. I like coffee in my stouts, but most of the stouts that I drink that have coffee are more sweeter. So higher alcohol, milk stouts, imperial stouts, so they're higher, sweeter. And then they've got that coffee backbone. This one tastes more bitter and roasty.
Yeah.
Than a typical coffee stout.
I'm really pleased with it, because typically I don't get to taste that roastiness without a heavy coffee backbone to it anymore recently. But the higher an ABV you go, I think you lose some of that roastiness too. So this is a nice sweet spot. It's a really good one.
Oh yeah. I'm filling mine up here. Man, I feel like I've got about half of this poured in my pint glass. Had to take a few sips so I could pour some a little bit more, and I still don't feel like the can has really gone down all that much. Oh yeah, no.
It's gonna take a minute to get through this one.
Oh yeah.
This is one of those I'd enjoy having at a campfire or camping, because it's a lot of volume to be able to share, but you could also just pop it and drink it over time. I mean, that would be more fun to me. Yeah. Your boys all have a crowler and you're just drinking straight out of the crowler around a campfire. Hell yeah.
For a couple hours, because this beer will last a couple hours if you just sip on it.
Yeah.
It'll be warm, but it'll last a couple of hours.
True. Maybe there's there's not a need for that. Never mind. It's like, what if you got a koozie that you could also put an ice pack in, and then, but no, you'd have to gorilla hand the crap out of it. You'd have to have a rock climber's finger strength to hold on to the width of that thing. It would be cool to see a gigantic koozie with like a firm handle, like a mug, like a stein.
Oh yes,
that'd be pretty cool.
Maybe at that point you're just drinking your beer too slow.
Well, yeah, but it'd be ridiculous to see a koozie with a stein handle and it's a fucking crowler.
That needs to happen. I need some sort of a mechanism that lets me drink my crowler like I'm drinking out of a big ass beer glass.
Yes, because it's the size of a stein, just no handle. Really.
Yeah. We really just need, and DJ's got those, and I've seen them before where it's got the can openers for the canned beers where you can put it around the top. Yeah. And you can actually lift the entire top off the can, so that way you're not drinking out of a tabbed, clug thing. You're drinking out of the entire openness of the can. Throw that crowler into one of those, koozie handles and just drink that thing. That'd be awesome. I think we got a Shark Tank idea.
In cooperation with the previously successful Shark Tank idea, the can thing. This is the Stein Grip. I don't know.
Stein Grip.
Stein Crow, the Stein Crow for crowlers.
It's just called the Hold My Beer.
Ooh, Crow Stein. Oh yeah. Ooh, the Hold My Beer.
The Hold My Beer.
Hold My Beer.
Hey, another note on this Macho Man Stout. It's starting to sweeten up a little bit.
Oh,
little bit more. So you mentioned it's got kind of a sweet spot.
Yeah,
kind of between roastiness, but as it's warming, as the kind of air's hit it a little bit and it's warmed up a little bit, maybe my mouth is changing a little bit, but I feel like it's a little bit sweeter as it's been sitting there. I don't know. Man, it's good.
Growler handler. No, that doesn't work. I'm still working that idea.
Mitch's brain is still stuck on the names for the Stein holder.
It's almost Hulk-like. Man, this beer, it is charming. It's got that nice little fuzz to it at the end too, where that roastiness and I guess sweetness also kind of plays a part in that, but that bitterness kind of lingers too.
Yeah, it stays with you.
The more I sweat it out, I'm like, ooh, I need to get another drink. It's very good.
We went there today, and good for Josiah. He's actually, and it'd be fun to be able to get him back on the show. But we talked about the first time when we talked about his distribution strategy and what the plans were for Big Trouble Brewing Company. I was listening to it this afternoon actually as we were heading home, and said the distribution at maybe in the future. Just wait, right now he's trying to keep the taps full in his tap room, and from there, once he can keep his taps full in his own brewery, in his own tap room, then maybe he can start thinking about distribution. That was not that long ago, Mitch. I feel like that was like September or something.
Yeah, it was
3 or 4 months ago.
I think you're right on the dot. 4 months ago.
But we went there today, and I got there a few minutes before you did, and I saw him, and he was just getting ready to head out. And I mean, in a few short months, he's got accounts already. I mean, he was on his way to do a beer run. I talked to him that night. He said, he's going to drop off a few kegs at some of the local accounts around his area. And good on him, because I mean, in just a short matter of time, he's gone from opening up a tap room and trying to keep beer flowing from his taps to I've got enough, now I can start distributing, and he's actually got a few accounts now. So good on him. He's actually expanding pretty rapidly.
Yeah, he is. He's awesome. The staff always vouch for him too, and he's a super smart, quick dude. Like I would not be surprised to see Big Trouble causing even more of a stir by the end of this year, in the Nashville kind of area. So I really hope to see a lot of his product on taps out there.
I feel like maybe I don't know if I'm speaking ignorant, because I don't know much about Gallatin, but I feel like they're the only brewery in Gallatin.
I think you're right. Only craft beer brewery, yeah.
Only craft brewery in Gallatin. So number one, by default, he's got an advantage. But even if that's the case, you could make crap beer and still be the only craft brewery in town, and people are going to come because it's better than the stuff that you can get in grocery stores. But he's making good beer. He's making great beer on top of that. So
super good.
We drove 45 minutes to get there today because he has good beer. The plan was to go to a bottle share, and it just wasn't in the stars for me anyway.
Yeah.
But we still got there today.
Man, and it was a good time. It looked like there were some people still sharing a little bit with whatever was left over, but we ended up getting food and just chilling. It was a good time. Man, the food, by the way, very good.
The hot dogs, man, are so good.
Yeah. I need to try those tacos. They're slow and low cooked pork, and they put them in tacos and whatever nachos too. I think it was gonna say,
yep, they had barbecue nachos with the pork on it. Yeah, those would be killer.
Yeah, I almost went with that, but it's hard to pass up on something just as easy as a hot dog whenever you're just having a beer, you know.
Yep.
Gosh,
we cashed out today too.
We did successfully cashed out. I don't think we ever talked about it before, but we went the one time, he was very kind to us, and as we recorded, he just gave us the pours for content and discussion and everything, and then we stayed, and I know we paid that time, right?
Yes. Yep. We paid that time.
Yeah. Okay. And then the second time, that we ordered like several different things, and it was kind of over a span of 2 hours. I think we were just hanging out, having a good time, and somehow through the POS system and checkout, they didn't apparently check us out. That we totally
they checked one of us out, so it was on me. I was buying that day, and I had told them, hey, just put it all on mine, it's okay, but somebody else had started your tab. So by the time we went to check out, the number was high. I was like, okay, well, that encompasses both our beers, whatever. Maybe apparently it didn't account for both of our beers. So
that's the day you got your pint glass.
Yes. So we're messaging Josiah that night. He was like, hey, Mitch, enjoy the beers on the house, my friend. Looks like it didn't catch you. Totally an honest mistake, because we thought we had. So we had to go make it right.
Yeah, we did. And I'll be making it right 3 or 4 times over this year, because I'm going to make sure to check out.
So Josiah, if you're reading this, man, we love you. It was unintentional. It just happened.
And he was joking around with us on that message too. I felt bad personally, so I was just like, okay.
He let it slide.
Oh yeah. I just can't get over, the space is beautiful. I think it used to be a flower shop or bakery before that even, and it's just set up to house people in there, and man, it couldn't be nicer people. I love the spot.
And it's family friendly, it seems, because one, you're in a smaller, Gallatin's not a huge city, but it's not small potatoes by any means. But when you're the only craft brewery in town, you can kind of make do. You can make it what you want, and he made it more of a family friendly environment. I walked in with my son today, had 5 or 6 people I didn't even know, just kind of like, hey, what's up? How's it going? What's up, little man? Like, they were talking to my son as we were walking in, and I felt immediately at home, making jokes about he can't drink for another 19 years or whatever, but it was all good. Like, no one gave dirty looks when you walked in with a kid, because you're just a family there, just trying to relax, trying to hang out.
Yeah, it's every time we've gone, community, staff, everybody's just a blast to be around. I really do wish it was like that bar was in my neighborhood kind of thing, where I could walk there and walk back. It'd be such a cool space. So Gallatin, you're really lucky.
Yes.
Oh, the graphics outside. You can't miss it when you drive there.
It's so like neon 80s, man. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's sweet.
Yes.
I definitely... Go ahead.
I was going to say the original logo, we talked about it with Josiah, was supposed to be like the DeLorean with, kind of some lines or whatever. And the city just deemed it to, or the art council, whatever it was, deemed it to, can't remember the word he used, but
just
it was
too much
unfitting for the city. So it never even went to vote. They had to change it, but it still looks good. It
looks great. And it's one of those things where I wish he could at least do it like a Mount Rushmore effect with like maybe Schwarzenegger and Stallone and what was his name with he does the splits, Van Damme.
Oh, Jean-Claude Van Damme.
And then I'm trying to think.
The guy that was in Big Trouble in Little China.
Ooh, that's a good one. But I would want to put at least like 8 faces up on a side of a wall at a business,
Yes.
And not so much Mount Rushmore. It's just getting those faces on there from their epic films.
Kurt Russell.
Gosh, Kurt Russell. That's right.
Yes.
Let's see here. I'm
It'd
going
be
to look
awesome
up.
just to have the Mount Rushmore on the side with like 8 or 9 of the biggest 80s actors.
Yeah. We need some other people than just these gigantic white men in it, because there's so many good movies in the 80s. Like
80s and 90s.
I want Mr. Miyagi on there.
Good choice.
You know, God, what others? I'm just looking through now. I'm cheating now. Oh man, Die Hard was on.
Bruce Willis.
Yeah. Teen Wolf. That's funny. Yeah.
Oh gosh. They don't make movies anymore like they do in the 80s. Like
No.
the movies nowadays are they're better. The special effects are obviously a lot better, but you lose something in the fantasy world of today's special effects.
Yeah. Oh man. I just saw a movie that I almost forgot about. Well, did forget about. Willow. I don't know if you've seen Willow.
Never even heard of it.
It's a 1988 fantasy kind of film. It's not great. Just saying, it is not great, but it is. To me, it's fun to watch.
Okay, directed by Ron Howard, produced by George Lucas.
Yeah. It sounds like huge, right?
Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
What the fuck? This has some names to it.
Yeah. It's got big names, but it is I mean, it's a ride. I'll say that much. I'm not going to ruin anything for anybody. Willow, it's PG, so your kid's going to be able to watch it soon.
I don't know if he's gonna want to. I'm looking at it.
I mean,
it's 80s for shit. It's 80s as fuck though.
Yeah, it is. It is. Even the scenery, you'll tell like right away. Okay. It's a fun one. I had never watched it till like 2 years ago.
Movie. Warwick Davis, Val Kilmer, Ron Howard.
Yeah, Warwick killed it in this one, man. He was really good. God, there's so many good movies. Scarface, Bloodsport. Man.
Big Trouble Little China.
Yeah, Big Trouble Little China. Weird Science. Dirty Dancing.
Dirty Dancing.
Silverado. So I just watched Desperado. This I think it was last night. Let's see. What year was Desperado? That sounds like 90s. Desperado. Yeah, 95. Yeah.
90s were a different era, but they still had that connection that the 80s movies did. Like 80s was all about action and blood and, you know, fighting sequences, but kind of cheesy at the same time. 90s were more comedy, romance comedy, you know, but there was still like that cheesiness to it. And that's kind of what tied the 80s and the 90s together. And then Matrix came out in 99 and people were just like, shit, are we living in a simulation? And then movies just were never the same after that. Like Scary Movie started replicating bullet time technology and all of those, and it just movies is Hollywood in general changed once 2000 hit.
Yeah,
there was that innocence that movies, there used to be a difference between movies and reality in the 80s and 90s, whereas in, you know, nowadays it's about making it as realistic as possible but just blowing up everything.
Yeah, exactly. It's like everyone's Fast and Furious now.
Everyone is too fast or too furious, I should say. I was okay with just Fast and Furious. Like that's why I go to the movies, but you don't get too fast or too furious.
Don't start drifting around the subject either.
So terrible.
Dude, I haven't seen the latest Fast and Furious, but
don't. You're not missing a damn thing.
But the submarine
that went off. There's one. They went off. We're getting off topic. One of them totally went into space.
Oh my god.
They launched a car into space like it was no big deal. Like hi NASA. Like, do you not see this car floating around?
Yeah, we get traction here. Where there's family, there's hope, I guess.
That's right. I don't need hope.
I swear.
I got family in space.
I guess they had a lot of gravity to their situation. It just made it possible. And I don't get it, dude. There's some movies that I'm like, you should be dead. Why are you still going?
It's man, at this point, people expect the impossible on the Fast and the Furious movie. Just how much wilder can you get with each movie?
You wouldn't watch Bloodsport 51, you know, like.
I'd watch Bloodsport 51. Probably wouldn't enjoy it, but I'd watch it.
Yeah. It's got Tobey Maguire as the main. Oh, gosh. The one thing I do enjoy about whenever I start talking to movie buffs and whatnot, I'm terrible at conversation when it comes to pop culture because I haven't paid attention to much of it, but I've enjoyed a lot of it. I just don't know the names of people or the directors and who wrote what. You know, I don't go into that depth. I go to enjoy it and sometimes enjoy, like, pick apart the photography elements, director, you know. There's some points that I really do get lost in the minutia of, but whenever it comes to knowing who did what, I'm just kind of like, I don't know.
Lost.
Yeah, same with music. That's why I'm just not good at trivia. But oh my god, I do love casting terrible people for important roles. Those are fun conversations to me.
Welcome to the 80s movies.
Yes, man. I would have enjoyed the 80s if I was in the game.
You were, but only for a couple of years. You're more of a 90s kid.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah. You're born, what, 88?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're a 90s kid. Oh yeah,
through and through. All that Nickelodeon shit and whack cartoons. But I still got raised on some 80s TV. Like we went through our spouts of cable and no cable. So it was like, what do we have on VHS from the other two kids, you know, the older kids. So yeah. I did live the 80s through
vicariously.
Yeah. But I enjoyed 90s products and commercials.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But,
well, you had two older brothers to benefit, like two way older brothers.
Yes. To
benefit from the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And the 70s, I guess.
Yeah.
Matt, your oldest brother, is in his 40s, right?
Yeah. Late 70s, all the 80s. Mm-hmm. Lots of movies from the 80s when I got older, for sure. And it's hard to reach back and really know what I was watching, you know. There was a lot of boring shit, but Nature of the Beast, I guess. I can't remember what was on public TV anymore. I just stream shit now.
Yeah, nobody uses television anymore. At least I don't.
Living in the future.
That's right.
Yeah.
Circling back around to Macho Man Stout.
Mm-hmm.
This beer is going down super easy. I am pouring the last of my crowler into the glass, albeit it's a full glass at this point. I haven't really necessarily gotten it all the way to the bottom before I fill it up. This is what I've got left right here. If you look, I've got just the one full pint glass. I've got about 16 ounces left.
I'm about in the same boat. I'm pouring the last bit of the crowler into like my taller glass, whatever ounce it is. But, you know, there's one name we left out trying to think of faces to put on the side of the building. And the name is on the can of this crowler.
Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah.
WCW Wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Now, wrestling was definitely in the prime time in the 80s and 90s.
So. Oh, yeah.
Holy shit. Like, I would have enjoyed wrestling if that's how it still was.
Hulk Hogan, Macho Man Randy Savage, $1 Million Man, Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
Those were like 80s and early 90s, but man, that was... How do we forget Macho Man? Like, it's on... You said It's the name of the fucking beer that we're drinking.
We were stuck on movies.
Yeah.
But there's just so many crazy personalities that came out of the 80s era, like across the board, not just movies. It's all everywhere, anywhere with a video camera. God, I'm just thinking of like, now there's so many missed opportunities of introducing this beer with the Macho Man voice. Damn, we really fucked that up. The cream of the crop. God, he there's a guy at work that he's a fan of Macho Man. He's got all sorts of memorabilia about him. I can't believe I did not even catch on with Macho Man here. Like, the name was right on the can. I knew what it was about immediately. We even joked about it with people there. God. It's so ridiculous. Have you if this was a show right now, I would start pulling up clips of Macho Man and play them while we talked about the beer.
I feel like we're going to talk to Josiah about this. I feel like we need an entire like wrestling line of beers.
Yes.
At Big Trouble. We need Macho Man Stout, $1 Million Milk Stout.
Yes.
We need Andre the Giant Stout. They're all like these beers that are like strong named, right? And then they're just like 5% ABV.
And then we need the Woo Stout.
Oh, the Ric Flair Woo Stout. Oh man, that would be awesome.
Ric Flair always cracked me up of how wimpy he would be and then take advantage and win of somebody, and just like that bastard every time. He was like the Leahy of the ring, from Trailer Park Boys. He was definitely
Bill Leahy. Rest in peace.
Macho Man Nothing means nothing. Nothing means nothing. What do you mean by that? I'm talking about all the way to the top, yeah. Unjustifiably in a position that I'd rather not be in. But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah. Macho Madness, has got more to offer. And President Jack Tunney thinks that I got, let me tell you something right now.
And I'll stop it right there, but he keeps going and going and going. He's always a show.
He's a personality, man.
Yeah. We it was like I guess a month ago or two, I saw a Family Feud episode where it was a bunch of wrestlers, the villains and heroes against
Celebrity Family Feud.
Yeah. Exactly that. And Macho Man didn't do so good.
No.
and
no surprise.
He brought the show though. Like every time he brought the show, even if he didn't know what to say, he would bring up something personality-wise out of the bank. But man, it was definitely a show. I'll say that. It wasn't a wrestling match, but
I don't expect those guys to know their trivia.
No. And I mean, with that kind of trivia, it's like it's anybody's guess. I mean, there's some shows that I'm like, they had to know the answer to some of these top like queries with people, or they just gave them easy stuff. But it's always fun to watch that.
And Steve Harvey is a beast in itself too.
Oh yeah.
He's great at that show.
God, the Steve Harvey shows are so fun to watch. Definitely my favorite era of Family Feud right now is with him.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. Sorry to all the other previous Family Feud hosts, but Steve Harvey's definitely the best one.
Yeah, he gives people shit. That's my favorite part.
So, what do we think about this Macho Man Stout?
Well, you see, I can't even hold it together.
It's only 5%, and Mitch is feeling good.
Well, you see, it's 5%, and God, I can't do like the snarling and all that. I can't think ahead far enough as that scene, but God, I would love to do a review as the Macho Man with the Macho Man beer. I'll have to reach out and find somebody who does a really good Macho Man to do that.
Macho Man Stout review.
Yeah. It's the cream of the crop, man, when it comes to stouts. rises to the top.
Yes. It's 5.1%, and it drinks so good. Like it's a warm welcome from, and it's no surprise on this show. We were heavily focused on, and we do better. We're doing better, but it seems to be we're heavily focused on IPAs and stouts, and of the higher gravity nature. But this one at 5.1% is just so easy to drink.
It really is.
Got tons of flavor. Like this could be a session stout, and I'd be okay with it. It's just the roastiness, the coffee that comes from it, a little bit of the sweetness on the end as it's warming up. It's just, I'm here for this, man. The whole sip from start to finish has lots of flavor.
Mm-hmm.
So good job, Josiah. Good job, Big Trouble Brewing Company. This is really good.
Sorry.
You're still looking up Macho Man sounds.
Yeah, there's a video, and I encourage everyone that you can go watch, but it's called When the Cocaine Kicks In.
I'm still in a state of shock right now. In fact, I don't think I'm period of time. Yeah.
I don't think I'm coming down for a long period of time. Yeah. And that's exactly how I feel with a 32-ounce crowler.
Yeah.
Gosh. What an era. What an era. And the names are only going to get better at Big Trouble.
Yeah.
He has so much to work with if he wants to focus on 80s stuff.
And his styles are down too. That's the fun part, is he's not just focused on, there's breweries out there that are focused on IPAs and focused on stouts and focused on sours. And him being the only brewery in the area allows him to kind of mix and match all different styles. We had a Mexican lager. I had a Mexican lager today that was really good. His IPAs are really good. His stouts are great. I remember loving his I Wish Red.
Oh, man.
Is what it was called, but it was the Irish Red Ale. He called it I Wish Red. And that was just super killer. It was so good. The seltzers were, can't believe I said that, but the seltzers were banging.
Yeah.
Like they were really good. It wasn't your traditional seltzer that was just, carbonated water with flavor. This one had sweetness to it and sugar. And it was all around really good. Just everything he makes.
Yeah.
Was great that day.
That red is amazing. And it's a shame they were out when we were there, but I know he'll make it again. And the seltzers are the best in Middle Tennessee right now, in my opinion, because you can get it straight just off the tap.
Yep.
And then you can put flavorings into it if you'd like. So then it becomes like a whatever you want it to taste like with that amazing seltzer that he creates. It's hard to explain it when
I don't have it in front of seltzer.
Me. Yeah.
You get to pick and choose your flavors and how you want to make your seltzer. They have some predetermined flavors for you if you want to do it. But then they also have a one where you can make your own flavorings to it.
Yeah. So, I mean, overall, man, I'm still impressed with Big Trouble. It was great to see Josiah and the team there today. And this crowler knocked it out of the park for the evening, man.
It was good, man. It's just what we needed to cap off an evening.
For sure. What are what are you gonna rate this one?
So I've reassessed how I want to rate beers going forward, kind of like you did.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm as forward thinking in terms of giving it higher ratings from the get-go, but looking at my last rating, I looked at this. I gave this a 3.25, and I was like, oh man, this is really good beer. I'd have it again. But in hindsight, looking at a 3.25 really just means like, I don't know, it seems unfair, kind of. I don't know if I would really go as high as a 4 on this one, but I feel like I'd give this a 3.75 because this is right at the top of where I would say I would seek this out. I would love it. We're actually working on a rating system right now. We're tossing back ideas back and forth. So I don't remember the rating systems that we had kind of thought about, but if I were to kind of rate this one sits around a 3.75, just right below a 4.
Yeah.
Out of 5. Out of 5. I'm going to put that out of a 5.
I went straight into a different vein of thought, and I just said, okay, as far as stouts go, I've never really liked porters and stouts as a favorite category of beer, right? There's fun play on both sides, porter and stout, the similarities between it and the flavors that you can get between the styles. But as far as stouts go, it's not something that I typically just seek out all the time. So I went after this with like, okay, so it's a stout and it's a roasty stout. I really enjoy it. I dig it. This one's going to be what I base a lot of other baseline stouts off of, I think.
Okay.
So I gave it a higher mark of 4.25 because this is the stout that I really like out of all the stouts I've had for the past 6 months, at least that I can remember. So that can change, of course, as flavor profiles evolve, but I really dig it. Yeah.
Let me ask this question. Are you rating this beer out of the category of stouts? Like
out of my preference of stouts, I'm doing that with the consideration of just how I enjoy beer in general. Plus, I think I don't know if I checked this in last time, to be honest with you. I'll look it up real quick, but I've started shifting my views a little bit on the rating system, especially on Untapped. But that's why I like the rating system we're working on, because, you know, similar people have, or similar podcasts have the same idea where the rating systems are not really fair when it's numerical, because depending on your preference, you'll rate things lower just because you're not used to that flavor profile or well versed in X, Y, or Z. So typically you just leave a no rating as the like culture answer, right? Like if you don't know the style, just don't leave a rating. But takes the fun out of it in a way, right?
Yeah.
But that's why I like what we're working on with a store or chug, drain, or glass pour. Like, yeah, I would present this kind of category system. We're working on it, but I think I'll be more excited about that system than something like Untapped, because Untapped is just super unfair for the brewer side of things. So on Untapped, I do skew it a little bit so that it shows favorability to the ones I really like or enjoy, versus if I straight out don't like it, it's one or two things. I don't rate it, or I give it terrible ratings because we all know it's bad. Like it's one of those universals where we go, okay, this is just completely messed up and it's a bad batch, so I will rate it as such. Or if it's just not in my wheelhouse, it's a no rating. So, you know, not everybody's on the same board with that kind of category. So that's why I like having more fun with it when we get there and decide on our rating system. 2022 goals.
That's right. The goal for the next year, we've got a few goals set up for the 2022 year, but one of them is definitely going to be coming up with a decent rating system that we can rate these beers by, because 1 to 5 is just boring.
Yes. It
boils down to.
We talk about beer so much, we should have more fun with it when it comes to the rating. So it'll be nice once we have our solid standards set, and I'm looking forward to that. Macho Man Stout, I poured you into a glass, so I'll cheer to the Macho Man Stout.
Cheers to the Macho Man.
Yes. Thank you, Josiah. Keep doing what you do. This is a fantastic brew,
and we plan on reaching out to Josiah again to see if we can get him back on the show, because that was a killer time. Definitely would love to be able to get him back on.
Yeah, and I definitely want to know what possible trouble comes from him this current year.
I'll be on the lookout for it.
All right, man.
Good time, Mitch.
Very good time. Thank you
We've had a great beer tonight, and 32 ounces of Macho Man Stout from Big Trouble Brewing Company. Shout out to Josiah at Big Trouble Brewing in Gallatin, Tennessee. And we look forward to having more from him. If you're not drinking beer, start drinking beer. If you are drinking beer, keep drinking beer. If you've never had craft beer before, Big Trouble Brewing Company's got everything you're going to want to have. Just make the trip down to Gallatin and you'll be good to go. We'll see you guys on the next episode.
Cheers.